Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about another Serge Lutens, and this time we're talking about La couche du diable, the devil's lair. This is discontinued, unfortunately, because I just searched for it on the official website and I was hoping it might have been moved to the bell jars, but it's not. So a bit of changes at Serge Lutens. They renounced the gratte-ciel bottle, so from now on, either they're going to come up with a totally different bottle, which I doubt. I think from now on they're just going to limit themselves to the bell jars for their higher end collection, which is so silly. They don't have atomizers, by the way, the bell jars, so you have to decant. But I'm fine with that, but you know, some people aren't. So we'll see what's going on there. So this hasn't been moved, La couche du diable hasn't been moved to the bell jar, it's just discontinued, which is quite a shame. Let me tell you, I smell this fragrance and it's something else. It's quite beautiful. I quite like it. So yeah, I'm going to have to, let's see. Will I be able, because I still have one other fragrance to smell today. And we'll see if I'm able to have both fragrances on the skin. But fine, let's indulge, whatever. La couche du diable, the devil's lair. This came out in 2019, Fragrantica says. So it's quite weird that this was already discontinued. I mean, it's not that old. And I can't imagine why this fragrance wouldn't be doing well, because it's so unique. If you ask me what La couche du diable smells like, couldn't tell you. Just smells like an amber, so it's definitely an amber with boozy vanilla elements. However, it's very dry, bitter leafy, almost like tobacco, smoky even. It's a bit smoky, but it's so harsh and bitter and dark and syrupy, and it kind of at times reminds me of Fumerie Turque, at times reminds me of the bitterness, that bitter Artemisia from Le Participe Passé, which is again discontinued as well. It's such a great fragrance, that one. And this La couche du diable is, it's almost, you know, it's like it's leathery, gothic, Halloweeny. It's a jumble of things. But if you look on the notes, because I have to look on Fragrantica because the official website doesn't have those notes anymore, because it doesn't have the fragrance anymore. The notes cite labdanum, woody notes, amber, which, you know, can mean anything. It might mean vanilla in this case. Oud, which I don't necessarily get, but there is that familiarity of oud somewhat present. Saffron, definitely. Cinnamon, tangerine, rose, orange, and musk. Now, if you look on this composition, you might even be reminded of something in the realm of Yves Saint Laurent's M7, you know, that tangerine, orangey, oudy, labdanum, amber sort of smell. But it's not. It's not. The citruses are not prominent at all. The composition is very, very bitter. It's not cited here, but I do suspect, again, that Artemisia might be involved, because it's that green, bitter green, dry herbal, dusty thing that you can smell also in Participe Passé and L'Eau d'Armoise, and it also has that strange sweetness about it, very undefined sweetness. Underneath all that bitterness, there is a honey sweetness, because it is indeed honey, as most Serge Lutens are. I don't know what to say about this fragrance besides the fact that I love it. It's so unique. And it's difficult for me to describe. It's like more than bitter, leathery, sweetish amber. It's so vivid, you know, the naming, of course. The Devil's Lair. That was great. That was a great name. And now, you know, if you take with abstraction to the name, I think tobacco or Artemisia play a huge role in this fragrance. I don't know why they're not cited. And again, I think it falls into that category of fragrances inspired by the cultural smoking, you know, the hookah aspect of Middle East. You've got that whole family of scents, which is Ambre Sultan, Fumerie Turque, even Écran de Fumée to some degree, definitely Le Participe Passé, and now La Couche du Diable. I think they're both in that same, you know, veneer of smoky tobacco, sweet amber, dry fruit, bitter sense, which, if that makes any sense to you, you kind of have to smell all of those ambers, because they're all ambers at the end of the day, and they're all such great ambers. When I think about it, these are the fragrances I cited, all of them are the most interesting ambers I've ever smelled. I think that's true. And you know what? It definitely applies to this one, to La Couche du Diable. It is an amber, and it's very, very interesting. You know, ambers can be quite boring. Ambers can be dead boring. Look at Grand Soir by MFK. It's an amber, it's a beautiful scent, it's very wearable, but there's nothing there except for conventional fragrance creation. This, on the other hand, I can't imagine people were liking this, but I can't imagine why. Otherwise, I don't know why it's being discontinued. And Participe Passé as well. I've taken Participe Passé out on a ride, and they didn't like it. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. So I can see why. It's that harsh bitterness that people can turn their noses up, which is, you know, it depends on people's taste. But it's definitely something I will wear. I will enjoy wearing it. It's so beautiful. It's a shame I could only find a 50 milliliter for this, but it's, you know, as it's discontinued, and La Participe Passé as well, I'm just glad I have it. So I don't know what else to tell you. Beautiful scent. If you can find it, do give this a smell, because it's something else. So if you have any other questions on La Couche du Diable, do let me know in the comments. And until next time, remember, fragrance creates memories, and may yours be happy.